Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Pyromancer here, and welcome to my channel. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is, whatever you are in the world. And today I decided to, instead of doing a big edited, long-form lore video, which of course there will be more of those coming in the future, to instead discuss something that has been on my mind for a while in terms of World of Warcraft, the way that Blizzard handles it, and something that I think is truly negatively impacting the game. I would like to talk about and propose perhaps some ways that Blizzard could make this better moving into the future, and why I think it's a bad thing, and in some cases, maybe even a good thing. So the topic of today's video will be PTR and data mining. Now, to be clear, these are two things that Blizzard has been doing for a very long time. PTR is the public test realm. For those who don't know, it's how you get access to things like testing the newest upcoming patch, testing alpha and beta, that kind of stuff. And data mining is something done by websites like Wowhead and I think even MMO Champion. And what this means is that they're basically taking the upcoming build and file sets and they're extracting the data from them in a way that the average player would not have any way to see. And they're pulling it out and basically taking screenshots to provide this information and show people what is coming up in the game. Now, I used to cover PTR. I used to go on and find any little hidden piece of lore or upcoming information that I could. I also used to cover things like data mining, and I don't do that anymore. And the reason for it is this. I think that it genuinely degrades my experience and enjoyment of the game. The main reason why is it completely destroys any sense of upcoming mystery or intrigue. We immediately go into something kind of already knowing what is coming. It's kind of like when you see one of those movie trailers, and in the movie trailer they show like all the best scenes, the big turn point scenes in the movie. And then when you go and see the movie, you don't really feel like you experienced the movie because you feel like you kind of already knew what the movie was going to be. It's a lot like that. Now, I'll describe more of the negatives here in a moment, but I do want to highlight a couple of the positives. Now, there are positives for creators like YouTubers and streamers that do cover things like PTR and data mining. Well, first of all, it gives them additional views. When you're covering a topic maybe 3 to 6 months before the content for it actually comes out, yeah, you are probably going to pull in more views. Now, that is a good thing for the creators. Not sure that it's always a good thing for the audience, especially for people that are trying to avoid spoilers, but I digress. And additionally, it gives us an opportunity to kind of check Blizzard ahead of time, right? There's been recently data mined this currency pertaining to houses. We don't know exactly what that is yet, but it does give us the opportunity to kind of see some things coming up ahead of time and kind of look at that and say, ooh, maybe that's not the best thing. But PTR is supposed to be about testing the systems of the game to make sure quests aren't broken, that things flow properly. You know, technical stuff, it's not supposed to be there to just reveal the entire fucking story to you. I personally think that the negative impact far outweighs the positive. The number one thing is spoilers. The spoilers are, look, they're damn near out of control, is the way that I would put it. There are spoilers fucking everywhere. It doesn't matter if you go on Twitter, on Instagram, if you use Facebook, it doesn't matter. YouTube, Twitch, there are spoilers everywhere. I would say YouTube is one of the worst offenders because people do not seem to have an interest or ability, barring a few noteworthy exceptions like Taliesin and Evitel. They don't have the interest in protecting the player base from spoilers at all. Now, this might sound a bit ironic coming from a guy that put up a video showing the model of the jailer, even though that was the fucking Primus. But at least in my thumbnail, I silhouetted the character model and didn't overtly state what the spoiler was. But you see a lot of that nowadays, where I've been told from people in my chat, Discord, and other places that they've had to completely hide channels, unsubscribe from them, and stop engaging with them because they don't want spoilers. Now, you might say, well, obviously, Pyro, if you don't want spoilers for something, don't go on the internet. I agree with you. But when it's for months before content actually comes out, That's extremely frustrating. You shouldn't have to dodge spoilers for 6 fucking months. That's a long time to just not be able to engage with a entire ecosystem worth of content, because if you do, there's a high probability that you are actually going to be exposed to spoilers whether you want them or not. And I think that that is the number one detriment. I would say that number two is that it heavily degrades the aspect of mystery and excitement. Again, when you know what is going to happen, even if Blizzard puts something in the game that they end up changing, when you know what is coming, where does the excitement go? A lot of excitement in life is about mystery and anticipation. If you don't have those things, it loses its luster. We blaze through things. We don't take our time exploring the details because, well, someone already did that on PTR and I already watched a video about it. And I feel like this is also kind of taking away from the money that we're spending on this game. You're spending $15 a month, presumably, in order to play World of Warcraft. And if you're essentially consuming the content of the game without playing the game, you're getting fucking scammed. Like, just play the game, discover the mysteries, find the little nooks and crannies and secrets. Can we have a little bit of mystery and exploration for once in so fucking long? And I don't see this with almost any other game where, like, every damn thing that's possible to know about the game is known months before the game comes out. Like, what is going on? Like, do we even want to play the game, or do we just want to fucking look at data mined images of the game? Like, I just don't understand it. And I guess once upon a time I did, but as someone who's obviously over the years become more and more invested in the world building and story and surprises of WoW, even when Blizzard is encrypting cutscenes and things, there is still always shit coming out. People are coming to my stream, I'm not going to drop a spoiler on you here, but asking me questions about a particular individual who is making mentions of a particular realm and the way that it's been affected by cosmic powers. And I'm like, dude, not only is that not a retcon, as some people are jumping to the conclusions of, and we're going to go to that in a second, talking about jumping to conclusions, it is not a retcon. The very first cutscene of said area describes what has happened to it, what has been done to it in the past, and how it has been existing. I'm trying to dance around this topic so as not to spoil anyone, but it's really not it's more a spoiler who it is rather than like what the topic is. Like, the topic is not a fucking retcon, even remotely. But this is another problem, is you have people jumping to conclusions. And look, dude, I'm just gonna say it. You have some people that are making videos about things that they don't know anything about. They don't. You got people making videos about content that they actively wish just did not exist in the game. And I'm just gonna say it, dude, as someone who has spent a tremendous amount of time studying this game, reading back through it, playing through it, even the content that I didn't like initially, going back with a clearer state of mind and trying it again, it becomes very obvious who doesn't actually know what they're talking about. And this happens so much with PTR and data mined content that people are just kind of making clickbait videos where they're claiming something is a retcon while actively ignoring the evidence that actually proves that they're incorrect about that. Not only does this happen with creators, but there's people that see little snippets of upcoming story, things that are absolutely subject to change because it's alpha, PTR, beta, etc., and they jump to conclusions about what it's going to be. And I think that this is just insanely harmful. I think that far too often, especially nowadays, people are not forming their own opinions. They're not engaging with content because they decided to, and thinking about whether or not they enjoy it or they didn't enjoy it, picking what they liked or didn't like. Instead, they're going to Reddit. Instead, they're going to YouTube. Instead, they're going to other places, and they're allowing people to define an opinion for them. And at that point, that's not really your opinion. That's just parroting what someone else has said. And I think that it's gotten worse and worse to the point where when you start to press someone for what they don't like about this story or this, that, or the other, it has become common that people are not able to actually describe to you what they dislike about something, what they think should be changed or how it should be better. You just get people saying XYZ is bad, and that's kind of it. Like, it just stops there. I'm just at the point where, like, I'm wondering, like, why do people allow others to dictate their opinions for them so much? How come people aren't just engaging with something and coming to their own conclusion about it anymore? And I'm sure that this has been happening for a while, but just from my point of view, it has become worse and worse over the last like 5 or 6 years. I don't know why that is. I don't know if this is some weird fucking carryover from like COVID. I don't know what it is, but there's way too much jumping to conclusions, letting other people tell you what to think about something. What happened, you know, people reminisce about the old days of gaming. Well, back in the old days of gaming, reviews were a lot less like common. You had, sure, gaming outlets and magazines that would give reviews on things, but now everyone has a fucking review on everything. That's obviously hyperbole, but the point that I'm making is that there's so much external noise nowadays telling people what they're supposed to think about something while those people are actively not engaging with something. And I don't remember the time that I allowed someone to tell me what music I'm supposed to like. I don't remember the last time I allowed someone to tell me what food I'm supposed to like. I don't remember the last time I thought that any of those things were appropriate for someone else to decide for me. So why the fuck do people do it so commonly with gaming and with World of Warcraft without actually engaging with the content themselves? So again, I think that PTR and data mining are immensely harmful. I think that there are a couple positive benefits to it, and personally, I really think that Blizzard should seek to change something about this. Whether that be more strictly limiting alpha access, making people agree to some kind of NDA for alpha access, encrypting more information on alpha and PTR, not just giving all of the fucking quest lines in their entirety or close to their entirety, allowing people to just start spewing it all over the internet so that people like myself and others who don't want to be spoiled on this content, who want to actually engage with it when it comes out ourselves and form an opinion as a result of lived and actual real experience. I think that they need to do something about that. In terms of data mining, I wish that they would just absolutely fucking nuke data mining entirely. I'm sorry, but I think that it's insanely harmful. One of the only things that's interesting about it for me is the showing off of upcoming tier sets. Blizzard can do that without even us having to data mine anything. So I think that something has to be changed, whether, again, it's limitation, some kind of embargo, some kind of fucking NDA, higher levels of encryption, removing the actual meat and potatoes of certain aspects of content, because otherwise we have all experienced Midnight 6 fucking months before it came out. This has really been like sitting at the forefront, really, not even in the back of my head, for a while now. After having gone and played Final Fantasy XIV, where they don't have PTR, where they don't have data mining, you can do it. Like, you can make a game that functions properly, and if this comes down to Blizzard not wanting to, as a corporate entity, wanting to fund in-house testing, then that's fucked. The player base is bearing the weight of the testing, the player base is bearing the weight of spoilers, and the complete destruction of any mystery or intrigue for upcoming content because Blizzard's not willing to test in-house to the level that they need to. I just think that's kind of bullshit, and I don't know. I think that what we pay for expansions and what we pay for monthly should allow for a better level of in-house testing and quality in that regard. I just don't think that it's right that you should have to dodge spoilers and shit for months and months and months before the fucking game actually comes out. I just think that's so lame. I'm not trying to like just be a shit stirrer, but the people that just make clickbait fucking content on this, some of which don't really even know what the fuck they're talking about, especially when it comes to the terms of lore and world building, claiming that things are retcons when they really aren't, while literally simultaneously referencing sources that can prove their claims wrong. I don't know what to say about that. I don't, it's ridiculous. So yeah, bit of a crash out, bit of a rant. I apologize, you know, I don't want to bring negative energy, but this, I really wish Blizzard would do something about this. I really fucking do. There's people that I think that would be willing to come back and try the game, you know, explore it for themselves, see if they like it, but there's just way too much. I saw this person say it's bad, therefore it's bad shit on the internet nowadays and just in the world nowadays. I think that people really need to focus on experiencing something for themselves and reclaiming their ability to determine whether or not they enjoy something, because there's far too much just, oh, I'm not supposed to enjoy it because a bunch of fucking people on Reddit told me that I wasn't supposed to. And I just think that's insane. That's actually fucking insane. Experience things, engage with them, determine if you like them yourself. Blizzard, please fucking do something about PTR and data mining. For the love of God, we still have like 4 or 5 months until Midnight comes out, if the guesses on when it's coming out are correct. Can we please do something about this going into the future? Because if this shit is happening still with The Last Titan and like potential saga ending things are being data mined and spoiled fucking months before, I'm gonna fucking crash out. Okay, so can we please do something about this? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. This is not meant to be an attack on anyone. It's really just my frustration about the situation as a whole. Again, an explanation of why I stopped covering this shit, because the game literally, I think, is better when you don't. And truly just kind of a desperate plea for Blizzard to do fucking something about this. Now, I doubt that anyone there will watch, but just in case they do, please understand, I love the game. I want this game to continue to be successful. I am extremely excited about Midnight and the Last Titan. I just don't want to have to dodge spoilers to this degree for this fucking long. So that's all I got to say. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you very much. Stay awesome, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace!